time. I'm trying to restart the stream. For some reason, it's not working. Do you have a headset by any chance?
Me?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to use, but it's not working out too well.
Oh, well, not because I'm just saying now we can hear the reverb. But it's all
All right,
good.
hold on.
It's all good. All right. I'm just gonna post this and then we can start.
All right.
My daughter sent me a message. She's always asking me for more time on her phone. That's the only thing she asked me about.
How old are your kids now?
Wait, let's save it. Any conversation is good conversation. All right. Why is Jared? Can you see the stream on your YouTube?
Yes, I think so. Unless this was the old one. Oh, I don't think you posted any old ones, so this
No,
should be it. Yeah.
So you can see it.
Yeah, it's only a minute long. So.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm retarded. Can't use that word anymore. Audio graphics. Let's see what this is.
Let me see.
This was 4 hours ago. Devin, we had this working perfectly. You had to ruin it.
Yeah, it's on, so we're good.
Where can you see it?
On the tube, man. It's on.
Okay, well, I'll believe you.
I'm gonna mute it because I just heard myself. There we go.
All right. Can you post it to the Cool Guys crew? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, but you gotta.
Do I sound shitty again?
Yeah.
I do.
It sounds like you're slowly going farther and farther into a dark hole.
See, that's what it should start with.
Yo,
right there.
the first time you came
Alright.
on with your like normal, was that just your iPhone?
What, me?
Yeah, the first time you came on to just be like, hey, I gotta run to the whatever.
No, that was just right. Yeah, that was right off my phone.
Yeah, that shit sounded dope. That sounds good right now.
Well, I keep going. I tried 2 different types of headphones, and I guess just right off my phone works best.
That's crazy.
But is your girl doing dishes or something?
Not mine. Yeah, right.
Mine is.
I'm like, somebody's doing dishes. Bang, bang, bang. All right, did you post it? Let me go back so I can start this.
No, just go ahead. I mean, people can go back. Let's see.
No one's gonna go back.
I don't know how to post it. I'm on my PC. Usually I'm on my phone.
Yo, tell Hillary to use some like rubber gloves or something.
Rubber dishes.
Yeah, like you don't. Yo, we gotta.
The gloves aren't gonna help.
Is she mad at you, bro?
Maybe.
All right, I'm just gonna start it. All right.
All right.
I think it's already started anyway. But all right, so just mute your mic and then after the intro, or you don't have to mute it. Just don't say anything, and we'll start it.
Yep.
Hold on, let me get those dishes out of here real quick.
Dang, 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 dang. I can't believe I can't find this fucking the stream. Oh, because I'm retarded and I'm in the wrong one. Yo, every time I close, yeah, okay. Every time I close YouTube and open it up again, it goes to like the family YouTube.
I don't do that with my family. Like, stay off YouTube.
You got to, man. That shit gets weird.
I let my kids do it for a couple days, and then all I had was like Minecraft videos and Roblox, and I was like, "What's this?"
Oh, that's what I mean. So I have like all right, I'm gonna start this. Ready?
All right.
Jared, you ready?
A lot of dishes going on. Go for it.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the moss room.
We about to get in. It's the first ever Devin Reverb of the Cool Guys Crew DMT podcast. We got Mr. Steer Girl, Cutie Pie himself, Devin. Jared, do you have a nom de plume?
The what?
Do you have an alias that you would like to go by?
No idea. We'll figure that out as we go, I guess. No.
Okay. And then me, I guess my name is... We'll figure it out later, too. All right, so first thing I wanted to talk about was, Jared, the obvious question, CyberPunk. You got it on the PS4. You know, there's been a lot of dirty talk about it. What do you think about it?
Oh, God, throwing me right in there, huh? That's interesting. Let's see. Solid game. Way too buggy. It's kind of a mess, but I still enjoy it. I still play it. It's interesting. I wouldn't want my money back or anything, but it definitely should have been delayed more.
I seen
more polish.
I seen a pretty weird video today, which it was the guy. He went to like the wrong prostitute, and it was a dude, and he was like, "Oh, what the hell? What the hell is this?"
Dude, that happened to me too.
Oh man, you got trapped.
Well, I thought it was just the doorman, right? Like you pay the doorman to get in. Well, no, when you paid the doorman, that was the man. So.
Oh, so you
Now,
like,
are you playing that on a base PS4 or PS4 Pro?
Yeah, I'm on a Pro. It's
Well, at least that's
still
good.
really buggy and ugh.
But at least it looks good. Everything I've seen online, like the base PS4 and base Xbox, looks like a Vaseline got smeared all over the screen. Just has a hard time with it.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Even with this, it like bogs down at certain points. Like it's kind of a wreck. I don't know how or understand their thinking. Even if you had to delay it, it's bad enough to you want to delay it again. That they're so tarnished their reputation with it. So,
dude, I heard
live
that
and learn, I guess.
Sony's trying to like sue them in like a class action suit to get like some money back or whatever, or something.
Well,
Sony
yeah, they're
actually-
losing sales right now. People are asking for refunds. It's kind of a crazy thing. You've never seen anything like a game that's been hyped for this long, and they're like, "Hey, we're not going to sell that anymore."
So there's a
they
little
straight up
game
took
that
it off
came-
their-
What about the
their
people
store.
who bought it physically? Like, so it's not on the store anymore. Does that mean they're not gonna not gonna get any patches? Say, for instance, some kid opens it for Christmas for PlayStation 4 or 5, whatever. If it's not on their store, if they put that disc in, are they gonna get that day one patch that's supposed to fix some of the bugs?
Yeah, the answer
Any
to
of
that
them?
is yes, because if you still have it, like I have it, and I got a patch today.
Mm.
So if I got a refund, I couldn't get it back unless I got a physical copy. So it's weird.
So you just
PlayStation
can't
took
buy
off,
it, but if you got it, go ahead and keep it.
basically, which is weird in PlayStation's from that point that they removed it. I don't understand that because now if somebody just wants it knowing that there's bugs, like whatever. If you don't know
Mm.
by now,
If
then,
you've played a Fallout game, it's not going to phase you, or any kind of Bethesda game.
The
Yeah.
thing that I think is weird too is because I watched Jared when he was live streaming, and like it looked pretty decent. Like it was kind of funny when he was like driving a motorcycle or driving a car, and like a building would just load in front of him, and he would just go like flying full speed into a building. But
At least they're funny bugs.
yeah, but like other than that, like it was pretty decent. Like I was like,
Oh,
damn.
there's so many hilarious ones.
And then he banged some
But there's
chick.
so many.
He went
like,
to a club
great
and he
game
started
breaking
banging
ones.
this chick, and I'm like, man, I guess they took Grand Theft Auto to the new extreme.
Oh, it's extreme.
Yeah, when my wife heard that you could customize genitals, she like started asking me about it. I'm like, yeah, you just make them. I mean, it's not like super customizable,
Yeah.
but she was less than impressed. She was like, "That's what you're doing in video games now." I was like,
Yo, can you put a hood on? Like, can you choose like uncircumcised or circumcised or whatever?
I'm not
lengths. You could do lengths. You could do like pubic hair if you wanted that.
But no circumcised, uncircumcised.
Like chest size. No,
That's
they appear. I believe they appear all to be circumcised.
Yo,
I
that
can't
needs
tell
to be the class action suit because right now they're excluding certain people. You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, for sure.
It's like, yo, I got a hood. What's up with that? But anyway,
That's gonna be a mod at some point. Like once the game's fleshed out and people are modding it, making mods for it, I'm sure. Like since that's an option, I'm sure someone's gonna make it even like more options for it.
and like that dragon that you know the dragon that I'm talking about, the dragon dildo or whatever.
Yep, that's gonna be a mod. Oh my, the mod support for that is gonna be insane. There's gonna be robot parts, I'm sure.
That should have been automatic. I mean, the whole point of the game is, body modification.
that should have been.
You just put like a Sabian on your crotch. You just just walk up to girls and just.
But
I will say,
it's
though,
more
you
like
can-
the sword that the White Ranger has in Power Rangers. It actually talks.
Are you enjoying this? Like, who said that? Like, my dick, bitch. You know who said it?
In CyberPunk, you can be a female and put on male genitals and vice versa.
Like, I want the game so
All
bad,
inclusive.
but
All inclusive.
all inclusive. Yeah, I want the game, but I'm just gonna wait.
Waiting is good. Computers actually run it way better, so it's not nearly as bad. But
Yeah.
they,
And that's
they
what
have
you're
a-
seeing
they have a
everywhere.
little
So it's
ways
kind
to
of shitty because like most of the footage you're seeing is running off of PCs. So like
Yeah.
the uninformed gamer is gonna be like, "Oh, Cyberpunk looks crazy," and then they're like, "Oh, they're casual gamers, so they still got their base Xbox or base PlayStation, and they put it in, and then they're like, why does my screen have Vaseline on it?"
And the sneaky thing too is that a lot of these streamers are getting paid, so they got 8K fucking. They're streaming in 8K or 4K, and it's you're right.
I will say one thing that CD Projekt Red did out of everything do good on is basically put out a press release and say, "Listen, we're sorry, we should have," which I guess hindsight, but they knew. What they mentioned was we should have let you know on old gen it was going to run shitty.
Well,
or
that's the
crappy.
thing. They should have been talking about that the whole time. But
They should.
I've listened to a lot of people talk about this, and like one thing I've heard a lot of people say is the game was announced when there was only a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox. I mean, granted, there's PCs, but like the game was supposed to come out in April. Back in April, there was no Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. So if they released it back in April when it did, like it was probably even worse back then with bugs and how it looked. Like it would have been even worse. So like, I mean, I get them trying to cover their ass and save face, but it's not everyone's fault there. There's multiple people that should be.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
for
I
that.
didn't think of that.
Not
That's
just like the developers. The developers are just doing their job. They're not the ones who are like, yeah, put it out the door.
right.
But you got to remember, the developers are also like developing it on badass PCs. They're not developing it and then playing it on a PS4 base model. They're playing it on a 8K.
Well, they are to an extent. They have testers doing it.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah, and that's where the problem
seems
comes
like
in. It's
maybe
like the
not.
testers are like, they're not. I mean, I'm sure the testers are like, hey man, like I've ran into quite a few bugs and like there's a lot of popping or certain things, and I mean, to some extent, the developers are like, sorry, dude, that's all we can do with that hardware right now for the game we're making. And probably over time, it got bigger and bigger. Like once they started getting the new hardware, they're like, oh, we can do more with this, and that's probably where the delays came. All the extra delays. They're like, oh, we can add that feature we wanted to before. Now that we have the hardware for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with that.
the way it looks online to me is like there was some meth head in like a back closet, just like, yeah, works good to me. You're like, I don't know, put it out. And you're like, all right, great, thanks, Charles.
Yeah, it's like we need that check. Put it out. Put it out. We got 8 million people who pre-ordered it. Put it out.
It's so crazy. Like,
They're like, why are we listening to Charles again?
close the door. Just close the closet door. Throw some meth in there and let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question to you guys is, I mean, obviously we know that those stupid monoliths are fake, but the Israeli government put out that press release saying that, you know, aliens are real, but they have decided.
I've heard about this, but I don't. What's the deal with these monoliths?
Hold on one second.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
What do you need to update? Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about that. The model. Oh yeah. So the Israeli government said that, you know, aliens.
Hold on. I have very minimal knowledge on this. Could I be a little bit more informed before we talk about it? Like, I've seen articles. I've looked at a couple, and I was like, oh, it seems kind of stupid. There's nothing like, I'm waiting for them to power up or something. Then I'll be interested.
Yeah. That.
So what I don't know anything either.
That's my point exactly.
They announced that there are.
Yeah. Let's see. So basically they said that there's aliens. We know they exist, but they said that they are not going to talk to us until we like level up basically.
Well, that's what they would say if they were lying, though.
Oh my
So
god. I can't even I can't even type right now.
It sounds that it could go either way. Isn't that perfect?
When
that
they power up,
say
let me
anything?
know. When they all connect and we see beams in the sky.
Yes, when everyone can hug and sing to their crystals every morning.
All right. So I mean it's Fox News, those fucking Trump-loving losers. But it says, former Israeli space chief says the U.S. is in contact with Galactic Federation of Aliens, and Trump knows. This is great.
That would be sweet if it was real, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm waiting for, man.
Parts of the
Beam
interview.
me up.
Parts of the interview were published in English by the Jerusalem Post on December 8th, 2020. Ish. I don't know if that's a word or not. Claim that Trump is aware of the existence of the extraterrestrials and has been on the verge of revealing information, but was asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria. But they released an article anyway, so I mean, we got it.
Interesting.
Did you guys
It's
see
like Valiant Thor.
Did you guys
looks
see
like a
those
human.
monoliths?
I've
Yeah,
seen
supposedly
them, but
that was some people to promote their show or movie.
Jesus, Devin.
That's what I heard.
sorry, I got a phone call, right? I declined it, but that was my phone vibrating.
Yeah. Can you put it on silence for the time being?
Yep, hold on.
Sounds like you got your phone a little too close to the vibrator.
You got a phone call
Like,
from
gotta turn that off.
that pussy?
That was a phone call from that vibrating fleshlight.
Oh man,
Use
dude.
it for soundproofing.
Oh man. So where should we go with that? Because that vibrating fleshlight was an interesting twist.
I was just thinking, like, we were talking about the monoliths and aliens
Yeah.
and stuff, and like you were saying that like they're not going to come until people can get along. People aren't going to get along. Like, you guys have seen the movie Watchmen before, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it's just my stupid rational logical brain, but I feel like that's one of like the only scenarios that we'll ever have, or I feel like the world will come together, is if there's, like in that movie, it was superheroes and like they were on another, they weren't human necessarily, I guess, in like humans' eyes, and then they portrayed Dr. Manhattan as the perpetrator for blowing up all those cities, and it essentially brought humanity together. It's a fucked up plan, but it worked. Like, I feel like that or aliens and hostile aliens invading is the only thing that's going to bring people together.
Wasn't that a speech by like
Yeah.
Eisenhower or something? It was like called like Project Bluebeam or something, where he was talking.
I think it was Jimmy Carter. No, maybe Eisenhower.
But right now, we don't have a scapegoat for that. Like, there's nobody that we could blame on Earth that would, like, unless you, like, unless you got a group of people and are like, okay, these are gonna be the scapegoat. We're gonna blame the Eskimos. We're gonna be like, the Eskimos got crazy. I'm probably using an incorrect term. I think it's Inuit, but we're gonna say the Inuit got hold of like nuclear technology and like blew up all these major cities. And I guess that would bring most of the world together. Except against the Inuit, though, we need like an alien or like I'm saying a superhero or something. Somebody that like a Superman type character that we could be like, well, he's not really from Earth. It's kind of messed up. He did that.
So you're saying
Yeah.
that we're gonna mobilize the human force against 7 Inuit people in the Alaskan tundra somewhere to kill them because they got alien technologies?
I'm not saying we should do that. I'm not saying it'd be right, but
No,
I'm
we should
saying
do it.
that'd be the only scenario where like in our current state because we don't know of anything else.
I'm sending
We
Trump a
need-
tweet
we
right
need that
now.
out. And I think what you pointed at there, Rich, was that the president did talked about that. He did mention like we need to come together as if, or maybe he mentioned it a little bit different, but basically it's an outward force from Earth to bring humans together.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So if they're like, oh, we basically aren't gonna want to talk to you until you get your shit in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it takes you to say hello to get our shit in a row.
Instead of maybe try to promote that like the moon landing was fake and stuff like that, why aren't they like it would be a smart enough thing to put your energy into like maybe faking aliens and being like, hey man, they're threatening us. Like we should put our minds together, put like our best
Yeah,
brains together, unify. But no, they're like, no, space is fake, Earth is flat. Nobody's trying to like make fake aliens, which I guess would be hard to believe. But man, you could convince if people out there believe in flat Earth. I bet you can convince people that there's aliens right now.
Bro,
Yeah.
whatever happened to China landing on the dark side of the moon? Is there?
There's China did land a rover over there. Yep. And it actually I think even it just came back. Oh, part of it.
Yeah, and here it says
Um,
watch China land on the moon's far side.
Yep. The dark side is actually a myth. There's no dark side of the moon. We'd never see it.
Oh my
So that's
god,
the
that's
problem.
pretty. Wait, why not? There has to be a dark side of the moon. If the moon is always reflecting the sunlight to us, what's on the other side?
Well, that's the phases of the moon. As you see the phases of the moon, it's hitting the other side and the side of it. That's why there's like 29 days of phases of moons because it takes that long for it to go around us. But as it goes, as we spin and re-rotate, it also gets the sun from every direction.
So we
I would
do
say
see-
most directions.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
So yeah, but it's an interesting body. I can go on and on about the moon.
So do you think it was placed there, or do you think it was like broken off? Of the-
I don't have an opinion on that because I don't have any basis to
On
sway
what?
in
The
a
moon?
direction.
Wait, on what?
But it is very odd.
What being placed there?
Some people say that the moon was placed there by, extraterrestrial entities, and other people say that there was a collision with Earth and a piece of Earth broke off, and that's what made the satellite of the moon. There's lots of different theories.
I mean, yeah,
So-
I mean, you formulate a couple different theories. Maybe some don't make. I'm not a scientist, but like, yeah, maybe it could have been placed here. Maybe it could have got trapped in Earth's orbit somehow.
The problem with some of that is because of the way the moon is situated. So the moon is like a third of the size of the Earth, and there's no other body we've ever found that large orbiting a body in the solar system. And then at the same time, it doesn't move. It's stuck facing us, which is also very odd because all other bodies in space usually rotate. It's also very odd that when we exploded things on it intentionally and checked the seismograph readings, it like rang like a hollow shell.
What if this is just my stupid brain formulating theories on the spot? What if like are there such thing as binary planets, like planets that are right next to each other or within orbit of each other that rotate around a larger body? Like what if the moon was a long time ago like a smaller type of planet that had something, and maybe it just got bombarded or got
Yeah.
collided with something near
There's
Earth.
got to be. I mean, there's
Stopped
binary
its momentum.
stars.
It doesn't spin anymore.
Yeah, there's binary stars. Maybe it's the one that lost the battle. So
Yeah,
Earth won.
they say that we're in a binary star, which it's kind of hard to believe because we never see it. But they also talk. I mean, do you guys ever heard about Planet X, which they say is in like a 34,000 year orbit or whatever, and that's who
Planet
seeded us
9.
here. Yeah, or well, yeah, I guess Planet X is 10, but I guess it's called Planet 9. I don't know. Nibiru. There's so many theories out there.
Speaking of space, I mean, this is a hard left, but you guys watch Mandalorian?
Heck yeah. Good segue there.
Oh man, yeah, that kind of space is cool, but real space is scary.
That's true.
Yeah, I remember telling my daughter that because we were sitting in the kitchen or whatever, and the sunlight hits our sink directly, and it was so hot. And she's like, "Oh, it's so cool that like the sun just heats up, the sink." And I was like, "Dude, the sun heats up everything. Like if you were in space, you would have to rotate at a specific speed because if you didn't, you would be boiling in the sunlight on one side and then frozen on the other side." And she's
Correct.
like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, space is like a photon, and it doesn't have like a temperature until it actually hits something."
And it's scary.
Yeah.
Did you like space is cool, so cool, and like I like to like compare the space and the ocean. Like the only difference between space and the ocean is that there's tons of life that we know of in the ocean. Would you imagine if there was that much life in space?
Oh, there's
There's
got to
stuff
be.
out
Yeah.
there. Like we're like, oh yeah, let's go travel out there, but also watch out for the schools of space, whatever it would be. But
Yeah, that's the theory on like the moon and
cool
why
thought.
we never went there and why you can't send people to Mars is because the Van Halen radiation belt. And what's the other is it
Van Allen.
Van Allen, yeah. And then the asteroid belt that surrounds the solar system after a certain planet.
That's way out. We're not even close to thinking about that one.
But
and you guys heard the theory that like we're essentially trapping ourselves on Earth with all the like debris that we use to launch things into space. You guys like seen that live image of like all the recorded space junk around us? Looking at
Yeah.
it's scary because it's like, how do we get out of here with all that here now?
It's eventually it'll all fall into Earth and burn up. But yeah,
hopefully.
that's why I love SpaceX. A huge proponent of them, and they bring most of the stuff they put up in space back.
Yeah, I have seen that they like reuse tons of stuff because they can get it back.
Yep.
But like, I think another thing that SpaceX should start doing is like, since there's all that junk up there, why not like try and retrieve some of it? I don't know if it's like worth anything if you can get it back to Earth safely.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical about those images of like how much space junk is up there. Like, where do they get that?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to find like an actual image, and they're all CGI images. They're not like.
I mean, there's definitely a bunch up there, but
I think the first time I saw it
world
was
in
like
the
on
space
Rogan's
is so
podcast or
large up
something.
there. Like, there's room,
Hmm.
and there's also different variations. Like around Earth, you don't just have like one area. There's multiple different areas, like where the ISS is stationed. Like, nothing else is up in that region. You have different regions where they put satellites, either low Earth orbit or very high. So there's a lot of space, but yeah, that's an interesting topic. I don't know where. I haven't really thought about it. I don't know how you get that back.
How do you guys feel about the idea of like just going to another planet or like living in space? Do you guys think that's like a feasible thing or something you'd like if you were given the opportunity? They're like, hey man, like Earth's
I'm
got
on
like
it.
300 like a scenario like Interstellar where they're like, hey, we found a place, you're willing to go, but you're not coming back.
Sign me up.
You're going?
Yeah.
Do you have like wife and kids or anything?
A wife and a dog.
Like, so like I've talked about this with my wife and she's like, no. I'm like,
No, that's the battle I would have to It's
Yeah.
either she would probably have to come with me or not. I would love to, but yeah, that would probably keep me. But
What about you, Rich?
I would love to go.
I mean, I do spend a lot of time alone, and I enjoy being alone. But I think I enjoy being alone on Earth.
I'm not saying like you'd be going alone. Like you'd be going with people. Like
Just-
you'd have to colonize.
Chip
Well,
or Rich on it. That's
I'm
it.
not gonna go up there with a bunch of people I don't know. Like, that's
You
not
get to know
happening.
them. They're gonna be your new people, babe. You guys are gonna be the people of Planet X. You
Oh
know.
my god, I'm the worst person with friends.
Yeah, but then you'll be there with the Anunnaki. And,
No, I am too. I'm very introverted. I get that too. But like the prospect of like, I don't know, the idea of that's pretty cool. It's almost Star Wars like that. I think that's why I'm in love with the idea of it.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we're-
the problem is introverted. I think the problem is that we're on a different wavelength than other people. So like things that like people talk to me about like sneakers or basketball or like sports, and I'm like I don't. Or like when you guys brought up the Mandalorian, I'm like I just never watched it. Like I watched
Oh man.
maybe like 6 episodes, but I grew up watching Stargate Galactica or no Battlestar Galactica and Stargate.
Yeah.
You know, and Doctor Who.
Swing
so,
and a miss.
yeah. You know.
So you're a slightly different nerd. You're like a EU nerd almost.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, so when I watched The Mandalorian, the stories were so like similar. Like, I guess there's only
They're like little quests. They're
Yeah.
weird.
I think the thing with Star Wars though is like I'm like probably one of the biggest Star Wars nerds that I know, and like I've probably read every book. I know I've watched every show, watched every movie, dived into so much lore. Like just the little things in like The Mandalorian when I see it just mean
Oh,
a
it's
lot
huge.
more to me. So like you can appreciate the more that comes out, the more you can appreciate it because there's always like callbacks to something else, even if not everyone's seen it. Like the first time I watched Mandalorian, and like I mean, me and my wife, I watched the whole Clone Wars series with my wife, and some of the characters from that show up in the Mandalorian. I'm like I lost it when they showed up, and like I was like trying to explain to my wife, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that person was there." And, like the more you know, the more you can appreciate it.
Yeah, it's huge. They're really packing in a lot of awesome stuff in there, and it's all canon. That's the best.
And like they're
that's
also
some of
like
the best
bringing
stuff.
stuff back that like when Disney bought Star Wars, there was stuff that just wasn't like canon
Yes.
anymore, and then like they're bringing stuff back, and it's exciting.
Yeah, just
mean-
like the newer Star Wars movies, they're not even canon. I think they're gonna
Ugh.
try to just slowly push them out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
like,
care. Like I was
pretend
talking
that-
about
and
that too
Didn't
with
exist.
my wife. They're not jointed enough. Like
No.
granted, they were by different people. Like they were made by different people, so there wasn't that. I mean, the old ones were directed by different people too, but like that second one, Last Jedi, just seemed like Ryan Johnson, whoever helped him do that, was like everything that happened in the last one. No, we're doing something different, and
Yep.
I feel like that messed it up.
There's also parts that they're totally missing. Like there was 3 children, not just one. Like Kylo had 2 other siblings. Where were they?
Yeah, in the old canon, like that was something.
Yeah.
Like I explained that to my wife. Like the story was a lot different. Like there's similar story beats, but yeah, the other children and like him, like something happens to one of the children and it messes up the other ones. But
Yeah, you get along well with one of my friends, Sergio. He's huge Star Wars buff.
yeah, Rich could change the subject anytime because I'll keep
Yeah,
going, dude.
Yeah,
no,
same.
I don't. I like the movies, but I just don't. I don't know. So you guys can talk about it.
Not
so-
as much.
Yeah.
No.
I just never. I can't read, so you know.
Audiobooks, man. That's what I did. Back in like around the time when I first moved up here, so like around 2010, I was like telling my buddy the other day, I used to torrent so much stuff, man. I don't know if I could say that on a podcast, but I used to torrent everything. Like I probably got a couple of those emails saved from Comcast saying like, "Hey, we got some suspicious activity," but like I downloaded every Star Wars book that there probably ever was in audiobook form.
Mm-hmm.
Found like the unabridged version because there's like abridged and unabridged. I don't know if you know the difference, but like abridged is essentially like a shortened version, straight and to the point, and then unabridged is the full book version of it, but just in audio form.
Yeah.
But that's what I did. Yeah, I couldn't sit down and read, but with some of the monotonous jobs I've had over the years, it's easy enough to just lose yourself in a book while you're moving steel.
You know,
audiobooks are where it is.
and the interesting thing about that is people always be like, "Oh, if you're smart, you read." But then, you have other camps of people who talk about the only way things were passed down back in the day was, through stories, and you had storytellers, and you had, what are they called? There's a word from. They would just repeat shit all the time. They would pass it down. I can't remember the name, but
Like a bard making songs of it.
kinda. My brain is.
Yeah, like that. Not to sound pretentious, but like what you said, people say they feel smarter when they read books. Like it goes the same with audiobooks. Like granted, I was only reading Star Wars books, but like there's a lot more extra vocabulary that like you don't normally use in your daily life that's in a book, and then through context you like I distinctly remember after I like read all the Star Wars books, I was like saying certain words that like I could have easily used in like regular life that I was like, oh man, I never thought about that. I've always used like the simplest terms.
Well, the point
Yeah.
being is that you probably retain information better when it's an audio version. Like, I listen to so many podcasts all the time, and it's just, a lot of it is just ingrained in my mind. Just constantly listening to streaming audio.
Well, that's one of those other things though. Like, it's a different breed of person because like you can say, oh yeah, I like reading makes you smarter, but it's information at the end of the day. So you absorb what you do. So if you're doing something and absorbing extra information, it's extra intelligent in my eyes. It's an important thing. That's a difference in what we're seeing now from, I don't know, 100 years ago. The technology and the information's all there. You just can
Yeah, you just gotta take
in whenever
advantage
you
of
want.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like most people like we're over here talking about audiobooks and like I mean, I don't know if we're considered youth anymore, but like I guess the generation below us, man, it's just scary to see. Like I see videos of like teenagers like doing their live videos and like all of them are just on their phones like doing their own thing too, but like also just like I feel like the youth nowadays, everything like Snapchat and all that stuff, everything's just like transmitted through pictures and short little burst videos. There's not like TikTok bothers me. Like I'll watch TikTok videos if I see them every now and then, but I'm not one of those people that are just on TikTok because I feel like the format for that is just you're not gaining anything from it. It's just copied stuff over and over, copy and paste. And like I tell my wife that all the time, like how can you sit there and just like for an hour just watch TikToks? Like it's just
Okay.
It's snippets of little bits of information that don't
like
aren't
I watch
relevant.
my wife will tell me like my YouTube videos are boring. I'm like, but I watched a 10-minute video and I've learned like 3 things that I didn't know.
Oh my god, I tell my kids that all the time, and they're like, oh, but you're on your phone. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm doing stuff. For starters, and 2 is that I'm watching informational videos. I'm just not watching like, kids play with dolls. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what the girls like.
Yeah,
They
for
like-
sure.
It's definitely a weird form of like the ADD mind. Like nothing against that because I have it, but it's like here's a snippet of something. Oh, let's change the subject. So you just stay here forever because you don't know what's next. Like you just keep swiping forever. And
my
oh,
God.
you like that area of something? Oh, check this out, and it just keeps going.
But
Keeps going.
what about hieroglyphics though? Because sometimes I think about that when you're texting people and you use LOL or a picture emoji, but then you look back at ancient civilizations with hieroglyphics. Like obviously they talk to each other, but like, hey, you want to know an easier way to communicate our feelings? Let's just use this picture. And they're like, huh, I get what you're saying.
I mean I get that, but also I feel like I don't know how many different types of languages there are out there, and I guess words are just pictures. We just developed a way of doing this with letters and stuff. I guess you could equate hieroglyphics to letters, but I feel like hieroglyphics and emojis and stuff like that we use are more like they convey a phrase or like something else. I feel like words are more precise or can be more precise. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely.
Like the conversation we're having, I don't think we could equate that through pictures.
It would be really hard, and you'd
Yeah.
need a really big wall.
You need a lot of time, man.
Like the whole
Especially
Star
when
Wars,
I'm
the whole
drawing.
Star Wars conversation, we're just flashing like images. We're like, yeah, right, yeah.
It's like an image of space, and then an
Yeah.
image of
I need another chisel. Shit, I broke it.
It's like, what is that supposed to mean? That's TikTok.
Are you tick-tarded? A little bit. All right, let's make another hard left. It's just another question. Jared, you recently bought a tractor.
Oh,
How
man.
is that working? You sent me that picture of you doing the snow. That's
Awesome. Love that thing. It's a beast.
Did you ever get that fire pit going?
Yeah, the fire pit's going. I rebuilt it a little bit. My plans in the future are to move it and make kind of a rock stone area that is more of a fire pit and a seating area.
Mm-hmm.
My yard needs a bunch of attention, so that's why I really got the tractor. I'm gonna manicure it, make it worth something.
Do you have any time off coming up on or around Christmas?
No, not really.
It sucks for you. Are you not salary or are you salary?
I am,
Yeah.
and I got
That's what
a
I mean. You're
bunch of
just
people
always
out
working.
right now. So, yeah, I got a bunch of people out, so I gotta. The finishing off this year is gonna be fun.
You guys about in the same area? Like, I'm not even sure where Rich is anymore. Last I knew it was Belchertown, but you guys live somewhat close to each other.
Not really. About, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes out.
He lives up north near you. I'm still in Belchertown.
Yeah.
I'm
That was
over
another
in,
thing. I was like,
Irving.
Irving? Okay, yeah, I'm in Greenfield. So yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
When you said tractor, I was like, what area is this guy? And then he needs a tractor.
He lives in Spring. He lives in Holyoke. He's just fucking
Holyoke.
doing my driveway.
No, I don't have that much land. I tried to buy it from my neighbors. That didn't go so well in the beginning. I think in the future it could, but I'm not even worried about it. So it's tractors to manicure the property and see what happens. It's an expensive one. So I sure hope so. But now I'm talking to work. We might be going to another state. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh shit.
What do you do for work?
I manage apartment homes for Aspen Square.
Oh, nice.
So I'm a foreman for them. I have 3 properties right now. I'm kind of overseeing.
It's good work.
Yeah, they're a good company. They keep you busy, keep your mind turning and growing. Really, if you want to grow with them, they're ready for you. So we have right now. I think last time I checked, it was low. It was like 70 properties countrywide. So we have a bunch. A bunch in Florida.
Are you still at Air Gas, Rich?
Yes, sir.
How's
What
that?
do you do? What are you doing over there? Like, I actually have an Air Gas literally right around the corner from me. When you told me you work there, I was like, no shit. Is it like the one by me?
No. I just deliver cryogenics and stuff like that. Our job's super weird, and they have this huge orientation about not telling people specifically what you do for work because they think terrorists are gonna hijack us or I don't know. But
Find out where you are.
yeah, let's get that guy. But no, I mean, yeah.
What, they really want your gas?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Bro,
we
I
do
think
have,
about that. I think about that all the time, man. Like, I used to work with rice. Well, yeah, rice oil. It's kind of like an oil company around here, and driving around in those big tanks, man. It's like big tank filled with a flammable substance. Sometimes it's scary. Not that I have that fear around here in Massachusetts. It's very calm around here, but some places, man, it's especially if the country gets a worse place, a bad place, man. People are yo, let's rob the home heating oil truck. We could hide that somewhere and heat our homes for a year or two.
Yeah, definitely worth a thought. That's crazy.
All right. Do you guys think that? What do you think is going to go on with this? The United States of America, if we, Biden gets installed or Trump. I mean, the country's so divided right now. Who knows? There's so many people who are just.
I think that comes back to our Watchmen conversation we were having earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me personally, I was telling you about this the other day, talking about not necessarily politics, but the state of the country. It's kind of depressing, that people are acting in such a way. I guess not that I'm saying people are wrong or right to, but it's kind of scary. It's as a country, we should be more united, not so divided on things.
The interesting thing to me is people are so far in their echo chambers they don't see anything else. Like I was talking to this guy today, and he was like, "Oh no, you're wrong. 100% of doctors and nurses they want the vaccine and they're for the vaccine." And I'm like, "No, that's not true at all." And I listen to both sides. Like in the mornings on my way to work, I listen to NPR, and like at night at home in the shower, I'll listen to a lot of Crowder, or I'll listen to Democracy Now! Or Alex Jones and Tinfoil. Like I just need all sides, because if you're just listening to one side, you're in an echo chamber, and so you'll be like the guy who's saying everyone wants the vaccine. It's like, no, are you on the internet? Like half the country wants it and half the country doesn't. It's not 100% either way you cut it.
It has nothing. Also, I think vaccines were already an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people from all sides, whether you're Rainbow Party or blue or red, that don't want to do it or that do. So vaccines are one of those things where like you could be that 1% that has an adverse reaction, or your kids could and die.
Yeah.
So that's why the vaccines are. Some people don't like them, but the majority of people they work for most of the time, but some they
Are
don't.
you guys taking a vaccine if it's like mandatory?
Is that like a double negative question?
What's that?
You said, are you going to take the vaccine if it's mandatory?
Well, yeah, I guess that was a double negative. Like, well, I mean, I guess not. It's not a double negative. Like,
Well, they're going to make it so you can't have your job. Like, if it's mandatory,
Yeah, if
there's
that's
going to
the
be
case.
stipulations. So you're going to have
I
to
feel
do it.
I feel like if they try and make it mandatory, I feel like it's going to change the world completely. Because like mandatory means like like you were saying, like like people could lose their livelihood, like can't go to certain places. Like traveling is going to be probably one of the first things that'll take that out. They'll be like, hey, need like your immunization records or some shit. I don't know.
You know, they're trying to recall Gavin Newsom, the California governor, because they're like, dude, you're doing a terrible job. And
Well, it's happening everywhere. You heard about New York, like their indoor dining thing is all shut down. I've seen so many videos about it today, how people are like upset about it, and like I get it, and especially in a place like New York, man. When I think New York, I think of like a lot of dining places, shops, and stuff like that, and that's a big part of the economy of New York. Like that's why people go to New York. It's not like, oh, I want to go walk through all the buildings. There's like stuff to do there.
yeah. My big thing is, well, I'll say two things. The first thing I want to say is, in my personal opinion, the things that will help America get back on track is getting rid of the vaccine liability. You know, how, or whatever it's called, how they can't get sued for adverse effects. Because if you can get sued for putting out a shitty vaccine, you're going to take a little bit longer to put out a good vaccine and a proper vaccine. But since they can't get sued for it, then they're just like, whatever, fuck it, put it out. And then, the second one is the MORES Act. Don't ask me what the acronym is. I can look it up right now. But legalizing marijuana federally, that needs to happen.
I thought that did, well, it was decriminalized, right?
Oh, it passed the House. It didn't pass the Senate yet.
So if that like that's an interesting topic. So I think about that a lot because there's tons of people in jail
You
for
packed a record
marijuana
1.1
crimes.
trillion
Like,
transit.
so if that passes, does that mean everyone in jail for like under a certain amount is going to get released? Because I get like people are trafficking, people who get caught with pounds upon pounds of marijuana. Like you're still doing something illegal. Like even if it is legal, there's laws about it. Just same thing with alcohol. Like moonshining is illegal. If you get caught selling bootleg alcohol, I'm sure that's a crime. Doesn't seem like anyone does it. Liquor's pretty accessible, but
Yeah, that's a weird line.
all those
Where do
marijuana
you-
offenses.
Where do you let people off and where do you keep them? Because
Yeah.
at the time, yeah, you're right. It was
I
illegal.
think it's going to be the same line or somewhat close to it. Like in Massachusetts, I'm pretty sure you can have like up to an ounce now in your car. But if you have more than that, like I guess it's by law, I think that's considered trafficking because you like. There's no need for you to have like.
No, it's how it's packaged. If you got 2 ounces in dime bags, then yeah. But if you just got, I think it's over 2 ounces now. But
I thought it was just an ounce, but and like if you're traveling with it, it has to be put away and like yeah, it might not be trafficking right after an ounce, but like you're gonna be in trouble. Like it's not just gonna be a fine anymore and like,
Yeah.
hey, go on your way.
Wow,
Yeah.
I can't spell. Um,
The interesting thing about going back to the vaccine a little bit, Rich, you mentioned the immunities. That's huge. That needs to change. That's like,
liabilities.
the immunities of being sued. They need to be liable for their drugs,
Oh,
especially when millions are taking it.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like if there is liability though, I mean, it's just gonna make, not that I want it out fast or anything, but that's gonna make the vaccine take longer to come out, and that's just something right now that the public is like freaking out about.
Okay,
So if they,
okay. Call back. CyberPunk. I know it's a video game, but what did you say? It should have been delayed. So, if people are huffing and puffing and doing a class action suit about a video game, then I think people should have the right to do a class action suit about adverse effects from a vaccine.
for sure, for sure, for sure.
And you're totally right. I looked up the laws and it says you can have up to 1 ounce um, on you and 10 ounces in your home. So you can have an ounce of
Yeah,
it on you and 10 ounces in your home.
So like, yeah, it's cool and all that it's legal in this state, but like, you see that right there. You can have 1 ounce on you while you're traveling, and you can have up to 10 dry ounces on you at your house. When you like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with growing, but like when you have a full yield, you got a lot more than 10 ounces when you're done. Like
Oh,
with the
yeah.
amount that you're allowed to grow, if you do it right, you got a lot more than 10 ounces. So like, most people who like, I know quite a few people who broke the law this year with their grow. So
Oh, okay. Let's get back to I can't remember. I can't remember exactly, but I'm on this group, and it's like a marijuana group in a local area, and these people post pictures. I don't know if it was like some magical sunlight or whatever, but people were growing the biggest plant. Like I was going to friends' houses, and they had 6 foot plants, 7 foot plants. I'm like, Jesus, like what are you using? And they're like, and they're outside. Like it wasn't even inside, and it's like I don't know, it just grows, man. They just grow in these giant fucking plants.
it's all about the
Yeah,
soil
guano.
placement. Like if you're doing it in the ground, out the ground. Like I had a pretty decent grow the year before. I didn't do anything this year, but I helped everyone else with theirs. Probably trimmed like 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, and you're not the only
That's
one.
wet
Like,
though.
and the people on the page that I'm talking about, like they're just like posting huge yields, like a lot of weed.
Now are you asking if that's like incriminating?
No, I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. I've seen it on there.
Yeah, I think this year I'm gonna try something a little different. I got a little spot in my backyard where I have a garden. I'm gonna clear it all out, make an even bigger one. Cut a couple branches off some trees for some sunlight, but
How many plants can you have now? Is it 4
you can
per
have,
person?
I think it's 6 per adult.
Says
Like
you can
per
grow
of
up to
age
6
person.
plants in your house and up to 12 plants for 2 or more adults. So
Yeah,
basically,
so yeah,
6
6
plants
per
per
person.
person.
Up
And
to a
then if
max
they're
of
outside,
12.
they have to be enclosed. Like, but that just means like it just needs to have like a fence around it or something.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Like, it's literally called weed because it would just grow anywhere.
Yeah.
Likes wet soil. That's how you make it 7 feet tall.
Anyway, guys, I don't know how you feel. We're almost at an hour at 50 minutes for the stream. If you want to keep going, we can. Or we can shut it down and save it for another day.
I'd
I like
keep
to save it.
talking, or we could save the content for another day. Write some stuff down.
It's
I
been
thought
a nice
that went
combo,
pretty well.
for sure.
Yeah, it went better than I thought it was. I felt at some point it like slowed down and then it just sped right back up. Like it was like, no, it's
It's
just
a lot of topics, you know.
I'm like, right now I'm running this off my phone. I'm definitely gonna have to look into some equipment. I was thinking about going to grab, like, I have wired headsets for my Xbox that are pretty expensive, but I have a new phone. Well, I have the Galaxy Note 20, and there's no headphone jacks on phones anymore.
oh my god, dude,
Nope.
that was so
So sad.
annoying. I spent money on mics that you could plug right into your phone, the jack on your phone, like pretty decent, like Rode mics and stuff. And then I went out and bought the new S22, and there's there's no jacks on it. So I got these, like $250 worth of mics that you can plug into your phone that I can't plug into my phone anymore.
Yeah, and like Bluetooth's cool and all, but I don't care what anyone says. There's a mild degree of latency with Bluetooth unless you're dropping like top dollar on Bluetooth equipment.
Yeah.
So when you're
You can
recording,
probably grab a dongle for that.
Yeah,
It plugs into the power port, but yeah, it's stupid.
But who wants to buy
So
another
dumb.
attachment for a
Yeah.
super expensive phone that works really well? Like I have no complaints with the phone.
I had to with my Google phone, and it pissed me off. So now I actually went backwards. I got the cheaper one because it has it.
Mm,
And my I bought like 3 of them. They just kept breaking.
yeah,
So dumb.
yeah.
when they sell you the phone, like I don't know about your S20, but my Note 20, like the last one I got the Note 10, and it came with like plug-in headphones, I believe, or maybe that was the phone before that. But like it came with stuff, and like now they take away your headphone jack, and they can't even do the decency of giving you a pair of wireless headphones. It can be cheap, but I'd appreciate the sentiment.
Dude, did you see the new Apple like headphones? They're like almost $600 or something like that.
I watched a review on them yesterday, man. I have a stupid brain sometimes. I'm like, I want those.
No, are you serious, dude? $600 for fucking.
The guy who reviewed them, like I was watching Linus Tech Tips, and he reviewed them. He was like, I bought these $600 headphones, and the guy in the background's like, no, we bought them off a scalper. They were $1,200.
I don't know, man. I got the new Samsung Galaxy Buds. They were like 130, and yeah, that's expensive. But I had other. I mean, they have like 8-9 hours of playtime. I put them in when I go to work at like 5, and I don't have to take them out till like 2 o'clock, and they just work like all fucking day.
That's great. I have a cheap $40 headset I found at like Walmart or something. I can hear you guys just fine, so I'm good.
That's why I don't have a PC, because if I had a lot of money, I'd be stupid and just blow it all. I couldn't compromise and be like, oh, I'll get this graphics card and save some money and put it. I'd be like, no, we're getting, like, I just pull up a list of like the top, like the best PC build you could find and be like, okay, I need that much money or I'm not getting it.
Cryogenically cooled.
For sure. I'd be looking into stuff like,
Dude, you
Not
can't
that
even
expensive.
get.
I could hook it to my freezer.
I gotta get a liquid nitrogen delivery every week just to keep my PC cool. It's cool though.
I'll just steal it from work.
Yeah.
Rich, you could help him with that.
I'm not. Oh yeah, I guess so. Ooh, the 1 terabyte. Ooh. Sorry, I'm on Best Buy right now because I was looking to see if there's any GTX cards because they're just not around.
I'm not allowed to spend money on electronics right now anymore after I just bought that $220 expansion card.
For your Xbox One X.
Yeah.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness.
What's that old saying?
Well,
Ask for
I mean, so what I did, I sold I have all the Xbox. I have the Xbox, like the original one, the Xbox One X, and then the Series X. So what I did, I sold my original Xbox with like a couple physical games that I've never played for like $220 to this kid, and I was like, sweet, I'll just put that towards my card.
Wow.
Hey, there's
That's sweet.
the GTX 1660 Ti, 6 gigs of DDR6. Oh wait, no, that one's sold out. Hold on, I just saw one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, no, that's the one. There's like, you can get it in 2 to 3 weeks. I just added it to
2 to
cart.
3 weeks.
But the thing is, like my brain, like I was telling you before, you didn't say 3080 or 3090, so I'm like,
Yeah, but that's it. There's nothing else on there, man.
yeah, everyone's buying that stuff up right now.
Well, the Bitcoin
crazy.
miners too. People don't. Well, some people don't understand.
That's what happened to all the 3080s and 3090s, man.
Yeah.
Hackers with bots that are about that were like, Xbox and PlayStations are one thing. That's like a way to make money, but like people who are really about that Bitcoin mining and all the cryptocurrency mining, they're like, yeah, we need the hardware.
Yeah. Are you guys into? Do you buy any Bitcoin or cryptos?
Nah.
I've dabbled, but no.
Yeah.
I could say mostly no. I swear I have a few hundred sitting out there in space, but I can't find. But
Yeah, those things are gone by now.
Think about buying
Yeah.
old Russian hard drives off of eBay and see if I stumble upon a Bitcoin wallet one day.
I'm just checking my I was just on my Best Buy, and I hope I didn't put out any information on there because I'm looking back at the what I was just on. I don't think so. Damn.
All of our viewers, you don't want them to steal your information.
Whatever, bro.
You never know. We get big one day, and they go back to the first episode and they're like, "Yeah, this guy put all. I bet you all that stuff's still the same."
Yeah. I know.
It is.
All right, guys.
I
Well,
mean,
if you guys want, I'm still. Oh wait, never mind. I'm on a different screen. Okay. If you guys want to do a Warzone stream sometime this week, we can just talk shit. We're probably gonna die real quick. But
yeah,
Well, that's what I
down
was saying.
for it.
Right? Like, if we could find like another cross-platform multiplayer game where we could actually get some good conversation without like I play a lot of Warzone, and like I get frantic with that. And I think my brain would be able to process a good conversation on top of being shot at.
no, I mean, like I said, I don't think the streams are gonna be for good conversation. They're just gonna be for humor.
For gaming,
Yeah.
But
Alright.
we could
I mean, I'm
mix it
down
up.
for
We
that
could do all
too.
different kinds. For sure. I'm down for whatever.
All right, so this is gonna be the close of the first DMT podcast. Thank you to our listeners, all 2 of you.
We doing a sign off?
Yeah.
doing our own.
You want to do any plugs? you want to plug any merch?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug some merch here. I got t-shirts on the way, hats on the way, gloves on the way, socks on the way. Brand name to be announced. Look for it.
You can catch me at the Tempe Improv on December 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I'm going to be headlining the club with my openers. I don't know their names.
yet. Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he's going to be my opener. All right, guys.
all right, man.
Yeah, it was fun talking.
All right, see you guys next time.
Next time.